All right, good morning. It's 28 minutes on to 7 o'clock. You know what? I'm going to do it a little different this morning. I'm going to take, let me see, 2 minutes and do this one for a jamo. And yesterday I heard him emphatically telling Pastor Stanford Simon how to pronounce his name, Ajamo. That's his name, and he's doing this one together with Janice Charles this morning. And this is really something that someone like me, I will celebrate that, you know. Knowing Ajamo as I do, a lot of folks don't know the gentleman. He is just a good-hearted gentleman. If you have that encounter with him, I'm going to take this just for a little, you know. Yeah. I'm celebrating with you this morning, brother. Hey, boy. Sweet love of the Lord. I can't say that I'm going to join you, because what you did yesterday, I did it a long time ago. Straight from the straight and narrow. But you know what? I'm going to use you as an example.
No burden is too heavy for the good Lord to carry. Lay down by the riverside. Yes. Don't be like the foolish man who built his house upon the sand to get washed away by the tides.
If you know the song, sing along. It's Good Morning Grenada. I'm celebrating the Kingman this morning. Kingdom material.
For another day. Turn to Jesus while you can and let him lead the way.
Take a dance.
The love of the Lord will never let you down, but it's sure to place your feet on solid ground. Jesus is the way to wash away your sins. So take up your cross, my friends, and follow him. Praise and follow.
He's on the road again.
Through the rain and raging.
But this time he's singing a different song.
Take up your cross and just
Edson Mitchell, OBE. Mama Ken, good morning.
his love is enough.
If I could have been at two places at the same time,
Sister J.
I would have been up Mama Ken this morning just singing and dancing around his place.
Jesus alone.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
All the pain and agony on the cross of Calvary. He did it for the love of you.
Because there is no other name, no way under the sun.
As I take my coffee.
Want to truly bring your salvation.
Yeah.
He's the only one to take his life and lay it down. And then 3 days later rise before the morning sun. That is Jesus.
I've got goosebumps.
Lord will never let you down.
Never let you
But he
down.
showed you place your feet on solid ground.
Oh yeah. Jesus is the way to.
The talent has now gotten its fullest meaning.
So take up your cross, my friends, and follow him. Come on, people, follow. Make a pledge and follow. Cast away the heavy load. Jesus is waiting.
That's what you call transformation.
If your mommy forsake you and your daddy forsake you, he's standing by to take on the fight. Yes. There is no need to worry. Whatever your cost may be, everything gonna be alright. Cause there is no other name, no way under the sun, who could walk upon the seas and calm the raging storm. The Prince of Peace, King Jesus is his name. From the beginning of time, his love remains the same. So let me tell you, the love of the Lord will never let you.
Not at all.
Never let you down.
Showed you
Never.
feet on solid ground.
Jesus is the way to wash away your sin, my dear. So take up your cross, my friends, and follow him. Take it up now and follow. Lay down your burden and follow.
Who said this Christianity walk has to be dead?
Follow.
No.
Let's follow him. Follow him. The love of the Lord will never let you down, I know. but it's sure to place your feet on solid ground.
It's Good Morning Grenada.
This is the way to wash out.
I'm in a celebratory mood with the Kingman this morning.
So take up your cross, my friends, and follow him. Time to wake up and follow.
His dear wife and his children.
Time to wake up and follow.
I know how proud you may be.
Place your feet on solid ground.
Yeah.
Jesus is the way to wash away your sins. So take up your cross, my friends, and follow him. Praise and follow. The love of the Lord will never let you down. Love of the Lord. But love of the Lord.
Yeah, I did this one for Edson Mitchell at Jamo. He told me in a previous conversation, he said, do not say the Ajamo, it's Ajamo. Good morning, Kingman, man. I'm so, I'm getting, hadn't I have on this long sleeve thing this morning, you'd have seen the goosebumps on my skin, man. Yeah, that's what the good Lord does. Transforms your life. If you let him, right? He's not the kind of guy that would impose himself. Yeah, good morning, Grenada. It's another, it's just one of those days, man. It's 21 minutes onto the hour of 7 o'clock, reminding you that at 6:45, we've got the AM edition of news, sports, and the weather. But let's get into the, as my uncle Augustine would say, into the nitty-gritty of the thing. Good. This morning we are going to have the word of the day, and this morning we're looking at frenetic. It's spelled F-R-E-N-E-T-I-C, frenetic. And it means marked by excitement, disorder, or anxiety-driven activity. It is synonymous with frenzied and frantic, both of which are also related etymologically to frantic. I had to take time, I had to take a deep breath to pronounce that word, boy. Etymologically to frantic. Now the celebration was noisy and frantic, lasting into the wee hours of the morning. That's the way it can be used in a sentence. So remember, the word this morning is frenetic. Yeah. Marked by excitement, disorder, or anxiety-driven activity. It is synonymous with frenzied and frantic, both of which are related etymologically to frenetic. And like I said, we can use it this way. The celebration was noisy and frenetic, lasting into the wee hours of the morning. Good. That was your word for the day. And let's get the thought for the day. I love this one. Freedom is not worth having if it does not include the freedom to make mistakes. Oh my goodness. I hit the nail on the head this morning. Yeah, with that thought. Freedom is not worth having if it does not include the freedom to make mistakes. You're permitted to make mistakes. Hence the reason why pencils have erasers, so that you can erase the mistakes, alright? Good, nice. And that thought came from Mahatma Gandhi. Lovely, lovely. Let's rush into this thing. Let's rush into this. Now, I've got the riddle for this morning, and let me ensure that my phone line is not engaged. Now, a man shaves many times during the day, but at the end of the day, he still got his beard. How is that possible? Give me a call, 435-2041. A man shaves many times during the day, but at the end of the day, he still has a beard. How is that possible? Give me a call, 435-2041. Let's start your day in a riddly way. We've got a caller on the line. Good morning.
Hello.
Hi, buenos dias.
He has his beard because he shaves, but he doesn't shave off the beard.
Oh, he shaves, but he doesn't shave off his beard. Okay. Where are you calling me from?
St. Paul's.
St. Paul's, how are you doing this morning?
Very good.
All right, nice. You feel you have it right?
Of course.
Yeah, okay. A man shaves many times during the day, but at the end of the day, he still has his beard. And your answer is?
Because he doesn't shave off his beard. He shaves, but not his beard.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, thank you, caller, but unfortunately, you are incorrect. Nice. A man shaves many times a day. Yeah, but at the end of the day, he still has his beard. How is that possible? Give me a call, 435-2041. Nice. He said, yeah, he doesn't shave his beard. Well, Papi, if he doesn't shave his beard, why he shave, boy? I wonder why he shave. He shave his foot. 435-2041. Let's go back to the tingling. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm okay.
And where are you calling me from?
H.A. Blair Street.
Where?
H.A. Blair.
H.A. Blair Street.
Yeah.
Tell me, how is that possible?
The only possibility is only if the man is a barber, he's shaving other people here, shaving himself.
Boy, this thing they call the University of Google, boy.
Google, never. I was trying to come in calling first, but the man blocked me.
Well, you are correct.
He's a barber because he's shaving.
He's shaving, yeah. A man shaves many times a day.
Yeah.
Shaves many times during the day, but at the end of the day, he still has a beard. How is that possible? Simple. He's a barber.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, you know what? There's a barber shop downstairs, the new NIS building going to the wharf there. All right, next to what's that? The name of the place again? I can't remember. But Sunrise Diagnostic. And that's my barber shop, and I keep telling those guys, I say, you all are the biggest hypocrites, because you all shaving everybody here, but all your hair long. You understand what I'm saying? So how are you doing this morning?
I'm okay.
All right. Could you promise me one thing?
Wow.
Okay, two things. I want you to promise me two things. Can you promise me that?
Let me hear.
Right. The two things. One is that sometime before Christmas, I'm going to get some green peas. And secondly, I want you to promise me that you're going to have the best day of your life today.
I will, all right.
All right. So both promises will be fulfilled, right?
Well, for the day, not the green peas.
My goodness. Have a good day. Love you now.
Yeah, you too.
All right. Bye-bye. Good. Love you. All right, folks, let me tell you what's going to happen this morning, all right? We have some topics. Well, of course, you know, on Beyond the Headlines this evening, that's at 8 o'clock. It's being hosted by Stevenson Warm. And tonight they'll be talking with the Minister for Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Ron Redhead. And also on the program will be Mr. Colin Peters, my old kindergarten schoolmate here. He's the coordinator of sports, and they'll be talking about the Grenada National Policy on Sports and Physical Activity. So you join them tonight at 8 p.m. If the time permits, we have a number of stories. A settlement agreement with Libya. All right, that's Grenada got into a loan settlement with Libya. We also gonna talk all about congratulating to track and field athlete Haley Hazard. All right, she graduated from the University of Southern California with a master's in journalism, specialized in documentary and film. Anytime I say this word, I remember Uncle Trevor. Film journalism. I can't pronounce that word good at all, but nonetheless. All right, 3 cents drop in Grenada price. But most importantly, this morning we will be talking with Mr. Arthur Hosten. All right, 25 years after fighting the dreaded disease cancer. So we'll be talking with Arthur this morning, and then we'll come back to the stories. But you know what, folks? We've got to break out here because we're running 2 minutes late for the AM edition of News, Sports and the Weather. See you on the flip side of 7.
From Television Center at the Grenada Broadcasting Network, I'm Kenroy Batiste. Anderson Peters is the only Caribbean male athlete nominated for the 2022 World Athletics Male Athlete of the Year Award. The athletes were selected by an international panel of athletics experts. comprising representatives from all 6 continental areas of world athletics. More in this report from Rena Pett Thomas.
Grenada's javelin champion Anderson Peters is among the athletes shortlisted by the World Athletics for the Male Athlete of the Year award. The 2-time world champion is the only male representing a Caribbean country to be nominated. Despite his recent troubles off the field, 2022 has been a great year for the 24-year-old. He moved up to 5th on the javelin all-time list after he threw 93.7 meters to set a new North American, Central American, and Caribbean Athletic Association record. Anderson's coach, Paul Phillip, says Peters is among 20 male and female athletes nominated for the Athlete of the Year award.
Those athletes are selected from all the major meets hosted and sanctioned by World Athletics, and includes meets like World Indoor Championships, World Outdoor Championships, Commonwealth Games, the Diamond Leagues.
Coach Phillips said that he is proud and happy to know that Grenada is once again on the nomination list, especially Anderson, who is a field athlete.
It's quite an accomplishment. I feel very proud to be associated with it, with the accomplishment and the recognition given by World Athletics. I think it's a big feat coming from a small country like ours and being in the field events. This is also something that I think the country needs to be very proud of as a Grenadian. Having a young man train right here and to be able to rise up to become world number 1 in the javelin this year.
Fans can vote by liking or retweeting the individual graphics of each nominee, which accounts for 25% of the points awarded to the winning nominee. World Athletics Council members will select their favorite athlete, which will count for 50%, and the remaining points will be awarded from votes cast by the World Athletics family, which is made up of athletes, coaches, and officials. Paul is encouraging Grenadians and the rest of the Caribbean to vote for Anderson Peters.
I think this is a good opportunity for everyone who is a fan of track and field, who is a fan of Caribbean youth, to join the world in voting for one of our own. Not only Grenadians, but people throughout the region, throughout the Caribbean, should be proud of the accomplishments of this young man and go out and join World Athletics, all the social media pages, and vote for Anderson Peters as to become the World Athlete of the Year.
If Peters win, he will be the first Grenadian to win the award. The male and female athlete of the year will be announced by World Athletics in early December. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
Grenadians are being encouraged to know their rights relative to citizenship, as former Attorney General Jimmy Bristol points out that the NDC administration is going against the Constitution by following the prior government's action in demanding that foreign-born children of Grenadian parentage apply for their Grenadian citizenship. Rena Pett Thomas has another report.
Former Attorney General Jimmy Bristol is imploring Grenadians on the island and in the diaspora to educate themselves on their rights for Grenadian citizenship. This comes as the lawyer claims that the newly elected government is going against their campaign promise to abide by Grenada's constitution by asking children of Grenadian parentage who were born in a foreign country to apply for citizenship or be deported.
Now, what the Constitution under Section 97 says is that such person born outside Grenada to parents who are born in Grenada after independence are citizens on the day they were born. The Constitution makes you a citizen. You don't have to apply, you don't have to pay for a form, you don't have to pay a fee for a certificate, nothing. What has been happening, it came to my attention in the last few weeks, is that this administration is continuing what the previous administration was doing, making making such people apply and pay money to be registered as a citizen.
Bristol says by right, the children with Grenadian parentage should only have to provide their birth certificate and that of their parents to obtain their Grenadian passport and not go through the costly and time-consuming procedure of registering for citizenship. He claims that the matter was brought to the attention of the relevant authority and he was told that the situation will be handled, but this is yet to be done.
I did speak with the Attorney General, who said she would send out a memo because she agrees with my position, but that hasn't been done by all accounts because it's still going on. And I had some very worrying news today when I learned that one person who came back to Grenada with their little son, having been brought abroad, was given time to remain and threatened with deportation if he didn't apply for citizenship within a given period. That is absolutely untenable and unacceptable. What bothers me is that the government is aware. They campaigned on a pledge to uphold the Constitution, and it doesn't seem to be that they're doing it in this case.
The attorney states that his concern is not an attack on the new government, but only points out that the situation needs to be addressed quickly. He spoke of how the situation can be resolved.
Well, the Attorney General has to direct the ministry, the Prime Minister's ministry, to stop that. And they will filter it down to immigration. So they will issue the passports. They could set up the internal system where you do a verification in the Prime Minister's office and of your documents. I think you have to verify them.
GBN sought a comment from the current Attorney General, Claudia Joseph, who acknowledged that she had an informal verbal conversation with Mr. Bristol on the matter and agreed that if his client was indeed a citizen by parentage, there was no need for registration of citizenship. She told GBN she did indicate to Mr. Bristol that she will address the issue in her capacity, but could not do so as other responsibilities took precedence. The Attorney General awaits the receipt of any formal documents from her colleague and was surprised that the issue was brought to the media as their conversation was just a few days old. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
Evan Smith's health has deteriorated since his alleged attack in Fort Judy some 2 years ago. It was a story that attracted local, regional and international attention. Christina John brings us up to speed with the story.
An application has been filed for a waiver on the cross-examination of Evan Smith. According to representing attorney Derek Sylvester, his client's health has worsened since his attack 2 years ago at Fort Judy, St. David. Before the Fort Judy incident, Mr. Smith's health was already challenged. How this is likely to impact his case is to be determined by the court.
The matter is very close to trial. Two applications have been filed. One application actually has been filed. An expert application has been filed in relation to Evan Smith, and we've also filed an application for his evidence to be entered without cross-examination, because now he has certain medical conditions. He has muscular dystrophy, so he cannot speak and he cannot lift his hands, and so it's a condition he had that was worsened as a result of the incident. So he's not residing in Grenada anymore. He's residing now in Guyana with his sister, and he's being taken care of. But
one may recall that in June 2020, Nicole Smith, wife of Evan Smith, relayed the story of her husband being attacked and beaten by a Caucasian family in Fort Judy, Westerhall, St. David, after he was accused of killing their dog. This sparked outrage among citizens who took protest action seeking justice for the Smiths. Although Mr. Sylvester is not representing Smith in the criminal matter, his deteriorating health condition is likely to come into question at that hearing.
Issue is, how would he be able to give that evidence in a criminal court? That would be an issue for the DPP because he is not able to speak. I believe our Evidence Act allows it, but there would be certain hurdles in relation to cross-examination, which is an accused right pursuant to the Constitution. He's getting treatment for it. I do not want to relay his medical condition too much, but to say that his condition is dire.
Sylvester explained where they are at pertaining to the civil matter. The matter will be heard virtually to accommodate Mr. Smith's condition.
In relation to Evan Smith, that matter is ongoing. The other side, we have filed a civil suit. The other side have filed their defense. We filed our replies, and thereafter we have filed our applications. You have expert applications for doctors, psychological report, and also you have the last report I spoke of. That's in relation to waiving his cross-examination because of his inability to speak because the law allows that.
In the civil suit, the accused Kavanagh and Hosten was sued for multiple things, including assault and battery, trespass to chattel, among other losses. The defendants in that matter were placed on $10,000 bail each. Christina John, GBN News.
Well, the New Life organization, NULO, is partnering with Chateau de la Mothe to provide trainees with a practical learning experience. Christina John was in hands to capture the students on a tour of the construction site.
20 trainees and 1 instructor from the electrical installation program at the New Life organization, NULO, visited the construction site of the Chateau de la Mothe, Grenada, CDLMG, Thursday morning. This visit was a study tour organized by Mr. Garfield de la Mothe, owner and managing director of CDLMG, a construction company aimed at providing the trainees with practical exposure to the concepts and theories being taught at the electrical installation class. According to project manager Mrs. Shanta Cox, the study tour is the first in many that will be conducted. She explained that it's the desire of the owner and managing director, Mr. de la Mothe, to do his part by using his project and resources to support the educational ambition of students, noting too that he believes holistic education changes lives, not just the life of the individual, but families and maybe an entire generation.
A CU where everybody runs to TAMCC, and NULO, we know, is put out some of the best students. So we thought that we partner with them to give them the hands-on as to what they learned in the classroom. Okay, during the other stages of the project, the students would get an opportunity to do their practical, whether it be a month, 2 months, and some of them would be employed during the construction phase of the project. That's part of the whole process. So whatever is taught in NULO, this is an area where the practical component can be provided. We have already spoken to some of the students. We have already given assistance to some of them.
NULO believes this study tour showcases the holistic approach involved in their program delivery and is an excellent opportunity for their trainees to see the various components of a construction project and how it all comes together on site. Students shared their thoughts.
The site itself is an interesting site. I like the concept of what they're going for with the 3 floors and buildings and stuff. My takeaway is that a lot can be done with not too much electricians on the site.
Impacted me a lot because you've seen how electricians have been more impacted in construction, because the first person to be on a construction site is an electrician and the last person to be on a site is an electrician. Company has impacted NULO because the founder of the project has came to NULO, so he giving back to the community, also the people of Springs, helping the community be a better place for young teens and young skilled electricians as us.
Lone female in a male-dominated field, Antonia Bowen says she is even more inspired to pursue studies in that field.
We started doing piping quite recently, so yeah. Would love to further my electrical education.
The CDLMG project involves the construction of a 10-unit, fully furnished, self-contained hotel and tourism facility with rooftop facilities that will cater to short-term visitors to the island and a venue for business and social events. The project is located at Springs, St. George. Christina John, GBN News.
Catholic Bishop Father Clyde Harvey says regional security must mean more than guns and ammunition. He told members of the RSS that their strength lies in their unity. The RSS celebrated 40 years on the weekend with a church service in Grenada. The rest of the details in this Christina John report.
And that's something I want you to leave here with. If RSS exists, it exists not for the sake of our governments, or any other government for that matter. It exists for the sake of the people. And you as security officers must always understand, whether you're just a simple policeman or a commissioner, you must always understand that what you do is for God's people.
That was Catholic Bishop Clive Harvey delivering the homily at the 40th anniversary church service of the regional security system. The occasion was marked by a church service held here in Grenada at the Blessed Sacrament Catholic Church in Grenada, St. George, where 30 years ago the first treaty of the RSS was signed. According to Bishop Harvey, security should mean more than arms and ammunition.
Security must mean more than arms and ammunition. Security must mean more than technology, because some of you policemen think you know the technology, but there are young people who know more than you will ever know. And if they become the proponents of the violence and the insecurity, we are in serious trouble.
Bishop Harvey urged the grouping to maintain that unity, because in that unity lies their strength, and in so doing there will be trust in the people. Prime Minister and present Chairman of the RSS Council of Ministers, Honorable Deacon Mitchell, in delivering his remarks, highlighted some of the contributions made by the RSS over the years.
As the RSS celebrates 40 years of service to the people of our 7 member states, namely Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, the Commonwealth of Dominica, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we salute them for their service and commitment. It has already been alluded to this morning that Grenada was the first member state to benefit from a major deployment of the RSS in October 1983, this month, together with military forces of partners and troops who are deployed in Grenada to restore democracy after a period of political upheaval.
Prime Minister Mitchell notes that since its inception, the RSS has activated its response mechanism at least 24 times in support of member and non-member states.
Since the establishment of the RSS in October of 1982, this organization has been relied upon for advice in a wide range of security matters and resource mobilization in support of national forces responding to various national threats, ranging from natural hazards, significant instability due to heightened activity from organized crime groups, attempted coups, among other matters.
Present were prime ministers and chiefs of security from across RSS member states, officers of both military and police organizations from the 7 islands, as well as RSS's partners and affiliates, uniting at the very location where the RSS treaty was signed almost 30 years ago. The service was preceded by a march past by troops from across RSS member states. Christina John, GBN News.
Recapping our top stories this past week, Grenada's javelin champion Anderson Peters among nominees for the 2022 World Athletics Male Athlete of the Year Award. We wish him the very best. Former Attorney General Jimmy Bristol accuses government of constitutional breach, and Senator Neil Franklin pays tribute to deceased media colleague Levi Benoit as he makes maiden speech in Parliament. That's the GBN Week in Review. I'm Ken Roy Batiste. Thanks for watching. Take care. Good night.
You've asked for it, and now it's here. The NLA announces its new mid-morning draw, commencing September 30th at 9:45 a.m. Yes, you heard right. Draws for Pick 3, Cash 4, and Playway will now be conducted 3 times daily at 9:45 a.m., 12:45 p.m., and 7:45 p.m., Monday to Friday. The Saturday draws remains twice daily. And that's not all. Simply place your non-winning Cash 4, Pick 3, and Playway tickets valued at least $10 from a single purchase in the NLA branded box at your favorite sales location for chances to win 10 prizes of $1,000 each. Whoa! $10,000 is up for winnings. Compliments the NLA. Be sure to write your name, address, and contact info on your entries before submitting. Promotion runs from September 30th to October 28th and would be drawn on Friday, November 4th, 2022. NLA, making your dreams a reality while supporting sports, culture, and nation building. Must be 18 or older to participate. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details.
Ultratech gasoline and diesel, available only at Rubis stations.
Solar lights are back in stock and will be available for purchase at Southern Electrical. Here is a list of the solar lights that we offer. 200 to 300 watt intelligent floodlights with camera, 300 to 500 watt solar street lights, 60, 100, 200, and 500 RGB solar floodlights, 100, 200, 300, 500, and 800 solar floodlights, solar garden lights, 25, 40, 60, 100, and 200 watt solar floodlights, 3, 7, and 10 watt solar wall lights, motion center garden lights, motion sensor floodlights, 30, 60, and 90 watt solar street lights with accessories, 5 watt solar wall lamps, 40 and 60 solar street lights, and 100 and 300 solar floodlights with battery power display. Now available at Southern Electrical, Dusty Highway, St. George. Visit our showroom today.
Do more with your new GUT Credit Union Visa debit card, which gives you access to your cash at any Connex or Visa certified ATMs locally and internationally. Make your payments with a tap of your card using the contactless feature and have the freedom to make purchases locally, online, or overseas whenever you travel, anywhere Visa is accepted. Experience the enhanced security fraud protection through the Visa chip technology. If you don't have your new GUT Credit Union Visa International debit card, speak to any one of our representatives today to do more. Your new GUT Credit Union Visa International debit card, a smarter way to access your cash. More smart, more secure.
MegaFest 2022 Gospel Explosion is finally here. Join the youth of the Grenada Conference of Seventh-day Adventists under the green and white tent at Progress Park in St. Andrews from Sunday, October 9th to the 29th at 7 p.m. and continuing nightly for an electrifying evangelistic experience like no other. Come hear the ever-exhilarating Pastor Oliver Scott shout to the kingdom of darkness with thundering messages from the Word of God. If you ever needed the Lord before, we sure do need Him now. Come find hope in the midst of your pain. See you there.
The
national insurance scheme continues to make it easy to access our services using the MyNIS online platform. Now we're introducing a new feature that allows you to submit your benefit claims from the convenience of your smart devices. No paper, no hassle. All you have to do is log in to my.nisgrenada.org. Select claims, fill out the relevant information, and click submit. We'll take it from there. It's that simple and that easy. Submit a claim from the comfort of your home as you rest and recuperate. Enjoy the convenience of faster claim processing and monitor the status of your claim every step of the way. We are excited to introduce this new feature to better serve you. NIS is changing the game and the way you make your claim. Access anywhere and anytime with MyNIS Online.
Okay, folks, welcome back to this segment of Good Morning Grenada, and as promised, I've got my good friend on Zoom. Good morning to you from the town that never sleeps, the town of Guave in St. John. Arthur Hosten, good morning to you.
Good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
People don't know. I relocated about 20 years now.
Yeah. I'm wrong. My humble apologies. How are you doing this morning, Arthur?
I'm good. I'm not the best at the morning. I'm a 9 o'clock person.
I wish I could have done that. This is one of the mornings when I wished I could have stayed in bed until 10, 11. But unfortunately, I've got to be here.
Retirement.
Yeah. I'll get there one of these days. But nonetheless, besides having to wake you up prematurely this morning, how are you doing?
I'm doing extremely well. Extremely well. And good health. I just came back from my annual checkup. I time my annual checkup in end of June every year.
Okay.
And I don't make it past my birthday in September. So just as how you have to pay your driver's license, just so I make sure I do my annual health check.
You said something. Your birthday is September. What date in September?
September 9th.
The 9th. Also, I am 9 days after you. I'm the 18th.
I turn 60.
You have some catching up to do to meet me, all right? All right. It's no secret that you are one of the most successful persons in Grenada as it relates to surviving that dreaded disease, cancer. I want to have a walkthrough. As a matter of fact, you've celebrated 25 years of defeating cancer. I want to start from the beginning. As Paulkins Douglas said, to begin with, I would like to start because when I'm finished, I'll be through. Tell us, I want to get into the cancer. What was your lifestyle prior to being diagnosed? Is there anything specific you think that would have causes that ailment to come on?
Well, I think it would have been chemical exposure.
Okay.
Pesticide. Because most of Hodgkin's lymphoma, which I had, is linked to that. So I may have an idea where it came from. But before my lifestyle before cancer, I spent about 20 years as a DJ.
DJ Arthur.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember those days.
It's been a happy-go-lucky life. Party all night, sleep all day. And that's why still my body has not readjusted after all these years, where I prefer to hang out all night. Then sleep all night and then sleep all day.
Sleep all day.
Yeah.
Okay, a critical question I want to ask you. Were you into the smoking of tobacco products?
I smoke, I still drink, I've never stopped. But smoking, I gave up. I started smoking somewhere in the 80s. And then I probably cold turkey stopped smoking in 1990, New Year's night.
Ah, that was your New Year's resolution?
No. I got vexed. I bought 3 packs of cigarettes and I couldn't smoke one. Everybody wanted one. I got really pissed off and I said, that's it, I don't smoke.
Yeah, that's it. You're not supporting anybody's habit.
Yeah. Okay. So I gave up smoking, but my lifestyle then had continued DJing, not full time anymore. I took in and between.
Okay. That's in 1990.
Kind of moving into a changing. Cancer, some way in 96, I think.
Okay.
A whole year of procrastination.
All right.
And I've seen a lump on my leg. And I've made men generally don't go to a doctor.
Yeah, we don't like that.
So generally, I'd have been an excuse as to what would have caused it. So I thought I'd walk into a table, I would have hit something. I made all excuses not to see a doctor. So I used all kind of topical ointment for that. And after a couple months, 6-7 months, pain became worse.
Okay.
And it, especially on a weekend after drinking, I'm more a social drinker, not now. But in those days, I more drank on the weekend. And on a Monday morning, especially Sunday, Monday, it's more difficult walking because in the groin area, in that gland area there, was swollen. And again, I found the reason why. And I think it would have been about which I'm not sure I took because it meant taking a tablet. Drink.
All right. Okay. Yeah. I know this. I know these things.
So the pain, it continues. I'm drinking on a weekend and sometimes during the week. And after a while, I said, no, take stock. I got serious. Nowhere in my head was it thinking of life-changing situation. So I went back to the doctor and he said, I gave you some medication. I said, I took it. So he prescribed some medication for me again. And he said, come back in 2 weeks. I did this time because it was continuous pain. So and the area became really inflamed. So I took the medication and nothing happened. No changes took place. So I went back to him and he said, okay, let's escalate this thing now. I'll send you to a specialist. So I went to the other specialist and he said, I have an idea what it is. Let's do biopsy and or surgery. I said surgery. I'm not, no needle going in me, just so.
All right.
And we opt for the biopsy and for the surgery, removing the lymph nodes, and then the biopsy. That was done mid-April. And again, there's nothing for me to worry about.
But let me ask you this, Arthur. What year was that?
97.
97. And
1997. Yeah.
That was the time when, were you diagnosed then? That's when you got diagnosed? 1997.
I got my diagnosis, I think, the 26th or the 25th of April.
1997. Okay. So now, having been diagnosed, you opted for surgery?
No. After the surgery and the biopsy was done, then I was given the news of cancer.
Wow.
So I remember that morning driving down to Grenada. Well, I was driven to Grenada, but a friend of mine who is now deceased drove me down because I was still suffering from the surgery.
Right.
I couldn't drive. And we drove down to Grenada to the doctor's office, Dr. Dominguez. And he said to me, my friend, I have some bad news for you. Some not so good news for you.
Yeah, the doctor wouldn't tell you bad news.
Oh, wait, because there's nothing in my mind telling me there's cancer. In those days, we didn't have Google as we have it now. Internet was, who could afford a computer then?
Right.
So he said to me, the biopsy results showed cancer. I'm like,
holy mackerel. Holy mackerel.
And he said to me, it's treatable. It is one of the best cancers to have. I said, wow. But the word cancer
is not a good word?
Not a good word to hear.
Yes.
So I told him I'd think of my options and I get back to him.
So where was the cancer located?
Well, Hodgkin lymphoma is a cancer of the lymphatic system.
Oh, the lymphatic system, okay.
Glands.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. The lymph nodes and everything.
At the time, from Grenada, I was told I had stage 2 under the diaphragm. But when I got to New York, I realized it was stage 4 below and above the diaphragm.
Wow.
Because I had to be radiated from the neck down. So I went, at the time I was working at this lot fisheries at Burns Point. So I went to drop in my sick leave and to give them the news, and that was the first time I kind of broke down because all the staff started crying because they heard the word cancer and emotion overtook. So I left a bit of history retreat because teary eyes and men don't cry. I left Burns Point and headed for Guam. And I waited until about 8 o'clock in the evening to call my siblings because in my family there's 8 of us at the time and I'm the only one in Grenada.
Wow.
Chose not to migrate. So I called the eldest sister and said to her, because I'm the baby.
You're the baby?
Yeah.
Wow.
However, I'm the decision maker in the family. Everything goes back to me.
Yes, to the baby boy.
So I called the eldest sister and I said to her, look what's happening. And then the screaming starts.
I could only imagine.
The phone went silent. My niece took the phone and asked me what's happening. And I told her. And the screaming continued. So I hung up because in those days it was $5 a minute. You don't want to spend time with people
screaming. Yeah.
So I hung up the phone and they called on each other, and then my phone started ringing constantly. The brothers and sisters keep calling, and they start quarreling with me now because I had an appointment in Barbados for my green card. When I realized I have to leave Grenada, I said, no way, I'm staying.
We're similar. September, boy, we're similar.
They start cussing me about not taking the visa. I said, I get a visa easy because they know I don't want to live in America. So I was ordered by the family to start organizing to move to America, and then I'm talking about less than a week. I got my visa, and I headed for the United States on 28th of April.
Wow.
The place I never wanted to go. And I still don't like living in Grenada. I prefer live here than live and go somewhere. Maybe 2 weeks out of Grenada, but I do not see myself living out of Grenada. And although I live in St. George's now, I may go off 3-4 times a week.
Right.
My wife costs me every day. Oh, your gas bill is $700-800. So what?
That's okay.
Peace of mind.
Yeah.
So my satisfaction is being home and being involved.
Okay. Let me ask you this though. Having been diagnosed and then having to make that trip to the US, how tolling was that on you physically, mentally?
Okay. The diagnosis of cancer, as with any other person, will take a toll, is the unknown. Luckily for me, and I wish a lot of people could do that, I have, and I know for a fact that the leading cause of death is life.
Could you repeat this? Could you reiterate this?
The leading cause of death is life. It's not cancer.
Yeah.
It's not AIDS. It's not that.
You die because you have life.
You have to die. So if
I love this.
You believe in a higher being, in the Creator. If you believe in science, you know you have to die. So there's nothing to worry about dying. You will die.
Yeah.
So I accepted the cancer diagnosis with that. That, hey, you have to die. Nobody wants to die painfully, but you have to die. So I accepted that. So I never for much of it think about what was happening to me. My concern then was that I had one son, still do, and I want to see my son grow up as anybody wants, with your only child.
Yeah.
Leaving behind at the time would have been 2 nieces of mine, so it was very close to me, who was, you see me, you see them behind me. So my nieces, 2 of them, and my son was my uppermost in my thoughts as anything as stress, if you want to call it stress. So I didn't sit down and moan and groan on cancer. No, that was top of my thoughts. Honestly, it really was.
Okay.
I knew I was going to America for treatment, and in my mind,
okay. So now you've just celebrated 25 years. Is it safe for me to say that you defeated cancer?
Well, cancer is a battle. And no, we don't say survivors anymore, we say warriors.
You say what?
Warriors.
Warriors, cancer warriors.
No, warrior.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're still fighting the battle because you have to keep it at bay now. You know?
Okay.
So while you might survive that section, you're still fighting to do what is right, to stay healthy, to be on top of things, to alter your lifestyle so that you know what's happening to you.
Which brings me to a very critical question. Having been diagnosed and being treated, what are some of the lifestyles adaptations you had to make? Is that the reason why you prefer to get up 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning? Is it a case where you need to have this rest?
No, just my body is that kind of mode. lifestyle, and I never changed my diet per se. I'm not an excessive eater. I love fish. In the last 10 years, I only local chicken.
Really?
I was never into beef and pork. Not that it does anything to me. I never like it. And maybe my mother also poor. We couldn't afford it, so I never adapted a taste for it. So, I went to a restaurant last week and I ordered food. And everybody looked at me like, really?
You ordered what?
I ordered steamed fish at the restaurant in Guam. Steamed fish and provision, that's all I wanted. And the guy looked at me and said, I should wait for you to order first. But I don't do excesses. I still drink alcohol, I never stop. But not the stronger end of the spectrum. More in the middle. Especially these days, I just drink wine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think I got some good genes from my father. So, because in my family there's diabetes, there's high blood pressure. I only have high blood pressure because of carelessness in Cuba with the water. I got it from the water content.
Okay.
Now I'm here, it's almost down to zero. I mean, back to normal. But I'm still on medication, easy enough on the medication for hypertension. But I don't have all the ailments my brothers and sisters have at all.
I am very certain that they might not be too happy hearing you say that publicly.
No, I always tell them they're sick. I tell them I have good genes and they have khaki.
Okay, I caught it right. Okay, so it's no secret, all right? Cancer is, if not the number one, it's not far from the number one killer in Grenada, and especially in men. With ladies, we have cervical cancer, but in men nowadays,
breast.
Yeah, in men we have what, the prostate cancer. What advice? Yeah,
but some men get breast cancer too.
Men.
Some men get breast cancer.
But that's one in a. But as a survivor, there was a term you used, a warrior. Was it warrior? Yeah.
Yes.
What advice can you give to someone, a young person, a middle-aged person, who has recently been diagnosed with cancer, whatever form, be it, cervical or prostate or breast cancer or liver? I had an uncle that not too long ago passed, and it's still, as you rightfully say, when you hear the word cancer, when you visit a doctor and you hear the word cancer comes from his mouth, automatically you go in a trance. What advice can you give to people who are diagnosed with that?
Before I go to that, cancer, a diagnosis of cancer on you is not about you only. It affects the family.
Right.
Emotionally and financially.
The word itself.
You don't come cheap.
Yeah.
Cancer treatment isn't cheap. So once you are diagnosed, remember, and in a lot of cases, that's what people worry about. Where will the money come from? I thank God I didn't have that problem.
You didn't have that problem?
My family, the family will do anything to keep me alive.
Right.
They will do anything. They move mountains. So the news affects the family, financially and emotionally. I remember my sisters waking up. I'm sleeping, I'm open my eyes, my sister looking at me. I used to sleep on the floor. I love the floor. So I leave the bedroom, I'm in front of the TV on the floor. And she will come out, tiptoe, look at me, and start crying. I said, hey, I'm good. Don't bother about me. Do not worry about me, I am good. But I know they are worried.
Okay.
And it happens in family because they think of losing you. They think of the financial burden. They think of the pain you are going through. So that emotional toll on the family is huge.
Right. So, let me ask you a question again, because I too had it wasn't cancerous, but as you would know because we're close, leptospirosis. You remember that I went
Yes.
through that?
I remember diagnosis, yeah.
Yeah, and
we were worried about you.
Oh my goodness.
The wife and I was every minute calling.
I shouldn't even bring it up because every time I bring up that I get teary because I know what it's like. But the will to survive in your mind when you were diagnosed, I mean, yes, the medication, the chemo, the radiation and everything like that. But what's about that intestinal fortitude, the will to survive? You had that, right?
Yes, I had it. And it's more so that I want to survive to see my child grow up.
Right.
I want to survive because I want to go back to Guava. I didn't want to be in America.
Okay.
So anything they tell me to do, I was doing it because I want to go home, get it over and done. There are moments when, imagine every day you go to the hospital, you lie on a table, and you strip naked with only your underwear and a piece of cloth. And this machine comes over you, robotic, line you up, and you hear this noise for, I think in my case, 30 seconds. And you get up and you go. And as time went on, I became blacker and blacker. So I had 7 on my stomach and my back. And then later on, upper part of my body. And that, looking at your body changing, and you're thinking, okay, I wonder if this will go away, or if it stays there permanently. And then picking up the dead skins, when I go to sleep and I wake in the morning, I have to take the sheet and empty it in the garbage, dead skin, and then put it in the wash.
Wow.
And there's a scent, it's a dead scent in the air. So it kind of reminding you that one tile away could be a dead man. You're already smelling the pot.
You're not too far.
Yeah, so you have to block your mind up, because I'm good at doing that, block my mind off negative things. And when those dark moments come, when I am in pain, frustrated of the stop and go in the treatment, because many times I go down, because I live in Manhattan, traveling to Brooklyn, because I choose a hospital in Brooklyn, and then I have to get there, wait in a room. When I get into the room, I go down to a sub-basement, 3 floors under, and they say, oh, sorry, Mr. Hosten, we can't do your treatment today. We have to make some adjustment to the shield, because although you irradiated me, you have to block my liver, lungs, spleen, the important organs.
Right.
But that still got damaged, because in those days, the technology wasn't good as now, where you have complete linear accelerated treatment. Now, before, things would leak, so my heart got some radiation, my lungs,
wow.
So I still deal with those things now. Don't think I'm 100%. I don't jump out of bed and keep happy-go-lucky. I get out of bed very slowly. If you call me, I turn back I don't turn my head fast.
Yeah.
Because I start going to a head spin.
Wow.
My hair don't grow to the back of my head. There's no hair to the back of my head up to this day. I have back problems. I sit too long, lie down too long, stand up too long. I'm in pain.
Okay.
So I put the bravest face out because I'm alive. I'm on top of the ground. I'm not below.
You're doing this simply because you are September born. That's what we do. September born. That's what we do.
Strong hurricane people.
Yeah. Listen, Arthur, we've got a caller on the line. Let me take this caller. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Innocent, and good morning to Mr. Hosten. Congratulations. Innocent, I am listening interestingly to the gentleman. And we know that God is the source of life, but I haven't heard him mention God in all this. I want to hear of his take on that. Have a good day. Bye.
Thanks. Good.
I did.
Yeah, you did. You did.
I did.
He didn't hear that part. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I'm not the 80s far from, but actually, I grew up an alcoholic.
Really? That's not a bad thing. we all grew up in church.
Yeah.
So, Arthur, in wrapping up now, it's amazing how, something like this, we need to do a full blast episode, yeah?
I want to tell people that, again, cancer is not a death sentence.
Right.
Live a good life. Don't do the excesses. Don't. Because, and I know people who have been vegetarian, and came down with cancer. But you have to be on top of the game. Visit a doctor regularly.
And this is an advice for men, right? Because we as men, we don't like going to the doctor. We don't.
Yeah. I see my doctor as often as possible. Sometimes twice a year, because I know my position. I don't want to be attacked and not see where the flag is coming from.
Okay.
So we need to step up our own personal day-to-day routine. See our doctors. Look at what goes into our mouth.
Arthur, just pause. Don't stop. Pause. I'll unpause you momentarily. We've got a caller on the line. Good morning, caller.
Yes, Mr. Joseph. Good morning. And good morning to Arthur, my classmate. I'm not sure if you're a classmate or a schoolmate at a Hosten from Montgomery. I would like him to give me a call, please. Innocent, after you go off the air, give him my number.
Okay.
If I know my number, show up there. Give him my number. Let him call me. I need to have a little chat with him.
Send me the number afterwards?
Yeah, I definitely will, Arthur. Yeah.
Okay, give my number, 535-6723. I mean, my number, want somebody to talk to me about cancer, 535-6723.
Okay, then.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, caller. Yeah. That's what we do, Arthur. We reconnect people.
Yeah, so in life, you got to know where you are. If something is not feeling right for women, you go and bathe every day, examine yourself. While you're soaping out, pass your hands, lump bumps. It is not good. It wasn't meant to have lump and bumps.
Okay.
See your doctor. Men, excessive sweating at night, unexplained weight loss, check yourself, something is not right with you. And if you do those things and see a doctor regularly, you could preempt a lot of things. Like I said, cancer isn't cheap. So you don't want to go into that stress. Well, medical care is not cheap anyway.
Right.
It's a doctor's visit now. Well, I don't know the pricing in Grenada, but I think it's about $700 and change. And the medication. So let's preempt that. Be more proactive with your health.
Okay.
Be at peace with yourself, because stress kills you. I mean, once you stress about something, your body goes down. And in my case, because of my immune system compromise, I take on no stress. Don't care what happens, I laugh it off.
Good.
I don't make things that I have no control over.
Yeah, it is said stress is one of the main carcinogens as it relates to cancer, yeah? Yeah.
And abiding faith in God is very important.
How devoted are you at the moment, Arthur?
I don't go to church.
Okay.
But I am in my own way.
All right.
But I'm not a church-going person. I think I had enough of that when I was young, until age 20.
Yeah, but you have a good relationship with the Creator.
Of course.
Yeah. That's what matters. I mean, it said, "Do not forsake the assembling of the brethren," but that's personal. That's personal.
Yeah, it is.
So, one thing before we wrap up, it's way gone past our time, but a conversation like this, it's limitless where time is concerned. What advice can you give to newly diagnosed persons out there?
Follow your doctor's instructions. Have some faith in him. Have a lot of faith in him, because they will tell you things. Thank God we have Google now. You could still do some research, but I don't advise it too much, because you see many things online that is not true. But do some research on your own. Not everything you see there you take it in, but you have an idea of where you are. Because I do that. I do a lot of reading. Like I said, I'm in bed all morning, but I'm on my phone or my laptop, researching that new technology and everything. So I do a lot of research. I joined many groups on Hodgkin lymphoma. I mean, about 4 groups internationally. And they discuss every aspect of their lives. And you learn from it. Because what they are telling me now, I never had this knowledge.
Had you known it before, your situation might have been different?
Yes and no, because being in Grenada, I was still not exposed to those technology. So, yes and no, but knowing of it is important. So that, for an example, if I should have a relapse, I know which hospital offers the best treatment now, based on all my research. So people who are recently diagnosed, don't give up. There's life after cancer.
Okay.
Look at me.
Is it safe to say now that you're free of cancer? You're cancer free?
Yes. I don't think anything new is coming in, but my last medical on the 6th of September showed me that everything is A-okay.
Okay.
In terms of what we are looking for. My doctor was even surprised of my heartbeat, knowing that he got some damage, and I'm on medication. He said that he was surprised that I am healing myself some way. He asked me what I'm doing.
No, just tell him where you're from. Grenada.
I told him, I said, well, no, he know where I'm from. He came to Grenada. I brought him to Grenada in 2019. My Cuban doctor.
Good.
I give him a trip. So, and he saw my lifestyle here. So he told me that he liked how things are looking. Because I had some email him before of some concerns. And he told me there's nothing to worry about. And in Cuba, you don't see one doctor. You see 3, 4.
All right, a team.
They go in to do a blood test. And when you report next day or 2 days after, you make a panel to discuss your case.
Okay.
So coming back to people recently diagnosed, don't need to worry. Yes, you're diagnosed, but listen to your doctor, follow the instructions, and do what has to be done to be alive. So look after your family, to see your grandchildren and children grow up, and to enjoy life as we're supposed to.
25 years after, you had a walk through Guav last weekend before, Sunday. Right? Yeah. Yes. Have you initiated any support groups or anything like that, so that you are actually one of a few? All right. So, have you initiated any groups that someone who is diagnosed now can say, "I'm going to call Arthur"?
Okay, for the last 7 years, I was more out than in.
Yes.
So I tried to get a group going, but it was impossible because I'm more out. But I gave support to the Pink Ribbon Society. And again, I give my number freely to people. This week I spoke to about 6 persons, one-on-one. People call me I tell them call me any hour night. If they're feeling lonely and they're feeling stressed, call me, I'll walk you through it. I'm going to Happy Hill at 5 o'clock this afternoon at the RC school for a session with people. And
with people with cancer or?
Yes,
general?
Well, the public.
General,
but
okay.
Some of them have cancer.
Happy Hill Primary School?
Yes.
Okay.
At 5. So, now I'm back here. I've been back at 2 years. I've only left recently for medical. But I will see what could be done, whether it's I don't think I'll do something new, but to walk along with what is there. Because new things might just complicate things.
Yeah, don't reinvent the wheel.
No. There's structures in place. There's the Cancer Society, which I was a part of, and there's Pink Ribbon. Pink Ribbon is mainly women, but I like to work with them because I know that they're very committed.
You know, I went, after having our conversation, was it Saturday I called you? Saturday, I think. I went and I looked and I found my pink shirt, yeah?
Okay. So there's a walk on the 30th of October from Montrouge to Anton.
On the 30th of October.
By the Grenada Cancer Society.
Okay.
That we invite everybody to come out to. So show your support for people who are fighting this battle. Show your support and your solidarity for those who, and your love for those who have gone. And just show your support generally, because life is changing. Look at what COVID did to us.
Yeah.
We can't live in a distant, in our own small world. That it don't work anymore.
No, no man is an island.
Reach out. I call, during COVID, I call a lot of people just to know, asking them okay, because you couldn't see friends. And I go through my contact list, and I call people, I say, is everything okay?
Right.
Because people need a call. You cannot be selfish. You have to reach out to people.
Yes.
And that one call can make a big difference.
Yes.
It could. Sometimes you call in opportune time.
Good. Just at the nick of time.
How are you doing? Yeah.
Arthur, I just want to congratulate you. I want to emulate you. I want to give you all the kudos. You've shown intestinal fortitude. Locally, we say you have belly. All right? To fight this thing for 25 years and being that sort of mentor out there. Hey, folks, there is hope. Cancer, as Arthur said, is not a death sentence. All right? There is support. There is hope. Arthur, anything you want to say in closing?
Well, just tell everyone to look out for each other. Check on yourself. Look after yourself. And let the chip fall with me.
Good. Live life. Live your life. Yeah, live your
best life.
Live your best life. Arthur, I just want to thank you, and I wouldn't lie to you and tell you I'm sorry for waking you up this early, because
No, I make up.
Yeah.
I'm going right back to bed.
You're going right back to bed. Okay, so all the best, and tell my mom hello for me. All right, your wife.
Will do.
Good.
Yes.
All the best. I will make every attempt to be on that walk on the 30th of October.
Yes.
All right, and we'll be in touch, man.
My brother, take care.
God bless.
Thanks for having me.
Good. The pleasure is all mine. Good. Right. Folks, I've been talking there with Mr. Arthur Hosten. He is a survivor of the dreaded disease, cancer. 25 years and going strong. Kudos to my brother. Okay, tell you what we do, folks. We've almost exhausted our time, but we take a quick commercial break. We'll be back after these messages.
Do you know that you can lower your electricity bill by switching to energy-efficient appliances? By switching to energy-efficient appliances, you can help lower your energy usage. Your refrigerator, for example, is amongst the highest energy-consuming appliances within your home, as it remains running throughout the day and night. Switching to an energy-efficient refrigerator can lower your electricity bill by up to 40%. As an individual consumer, I cannot impact global fuel prices. However, I can ease the burden of rising fuel rates by switching to energy-efficient appliances. What can you do?
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Spare your pocket, spare the earth, always at Grenlec.
MegaFest 2022 Gospel Explosion is finally here. Join the youth of the Grenada Conference of Seventh-day Adventists under the green and white tent at Progress Park in St. Andrews from Sunday, October 9th to the 29th at 7 p.m. and continuing nightly for an electrifying evangelistic experience like no other. Come hear the ever-exhilarating Pastor Oliver Scott shout to the kingdom of darkness with thundering messages from the Word of God. If you ever needed the Lord before, we sure do need Him now. Come find hope in the midst of your pain. See you there.
Total is one of the world's largest oil companies with a top quality line of lubricants. Total Lubricants has a full product line from passenger cars, motorcycle, heavy industrial equipment, mining, trucking, agriculture, and manufacturing machines and vehicles. Total Lubricants, winning championships in motorsports, including Formula One and World Rally Championships. Total Lubricants are available at all Rubis service stations, leading automotive shops, and distributed by Huggins.
WeatherGuard Pro. For every project, there's only one Pro.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via Superb Service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibbin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
Wednesday, 26 October, Hot 98 FM will be blazing the airwaves from downtown St. George's. Come join the fun, meet the Hot 98 team and some of our partners in front of the Esplanade Mall from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Great music, exciting deals, huge discounts, and enough giveaways from our partners and us. Stay tuned to Hot 98.5 FM. Like and follow our social media pages to find out more about Hot in the City. We will be coming to a city near you. Mark the date, Wednesday, October 26th. Hot in the City. Hot in the City.
This is why I'm hot. This is why I'm hot.
Alright folks, welcome back. Those of you just joining us, welcome on board. I want to take the time off at this time to say a very happy birthday to you, Rena Pierre Thomas. She is a member of the GBN News team and you're celebrating your birthday today. You've got greetings coming from your husband, Sean Thomas, and the rest of your family members, and that's your biological family, but the family here at GBN, we want to wish you a very special happy birthday. As a matter of fact, I'm surprised that I'm seeing you in the building. You should be sent on a day pass or something like that. I mean, or maybe that's in the making. All right, so happy birthday to you, Rena. I do hope that you live to see many and many more birthdays to come. Also want to say happy birthday to you, Mr. Alstead John. Yeah, how are you, puppy? He's like my dad, man. He grew me up. He was one of my elders growing up. He was, in those days you have uncle and, Alstead John, good morning to you. Happy birthday to you. You've got greetings coming to you from Caitlin and family, and I do hope that you enjoy the day to the fullest. I cannot promise or guarantee that I'll be up with you later, but if I don't, we're here in spirit, all right? I know Matthew Pegleg John will want to chip in and say happy birthday to you as well. Happy birthday, long life, health, and strength. Folks, I've got to take it away from here because we've got to join the BBC for a bulletin of news at this time. We'll be back on the flip side of 8.